For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
How is your Thursday so far, considering that an approaching tropical wave has produced heavy showers over the last few hours? I imagine it's very wet, murky, miserable on the outside for some people, and for others it's very cool and you're very comfortable. I imagine the farmers would be reveling in the heavy rains we've been experiencing, but definitely we don't need a lot of rain to saturate the soil and for there to be landslides and the falling of trees and destruction to our infrastructure. We hope that there will be some kind of balance. My name is Timothy Poleon. Another edition of NewsSpin right here on Power 97.9 FM, as well as on our NewsSpin Facebook page and YouTube. We go up until 2 o'clock. In a moment, your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. What's coming up on the program? Somebody has an idea. A license for politicians. Politicians should be licensed. We'll be hearing from him in just a moment. We have our new feature. That's a fact. That's a fact. And also, as usual, we have our NewsSpin news of the day. But first, our NewsSpin Facebook question of the day. To the disappointment of our government, to the disappointment of our National Security Minister, Prime Minister, and the other cabinet ministers. What is your response to the crime menace? That's our NewsSpin Facebook question of the day. We have a few responses. Somebody says our judicial system is corrupt, and lately technology has been exposing these ills within our judicial system. Only yesterday I saw another clip where I was led to gauge the policing skills of an officer from Labrie, and Tim, from this clip, I can tell you we are doomed. Another person says There are many things I want to suggest, but what's the use when crime and criminality have become a business? Business for the criminals, business for the lawyers. The justice system is designed to protect the criminals. Somebody also says, my response is to tell both the government and the opposition the need to aggressively secure our borders, as we will not vote for them. Too much guns coming in, the murder rate is high, the robbery rate is high, plus the cost of living is high. Things will get worse. And finally, sickening, serious, Lucia, too small for that. Where are the leaders? What are they doing? Pip, 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 pip. It's time you speak properly so we can understand what you are saying. This is why we are in so much trouble. We have no leader, none. Lord help my little St. Lucia. It's bleeding bad. And that's it for your responses to our NewsSpin Facebook question of the day. Ruling politicians believe that you should let them be. When, for example, you have critical issues impacting the people, never link it to them, never make reference to them, never ask them, what are you doing to improve the lives of the people? Whether you're in office for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 13, 14, 15 months, they don't want you to ask those questions of them. Because for them, the priority is getting into office and remaining there, and for them not to account for their stewardship. And that is why one can sense some kind of discomfort on the part of this administration every time we focus on crime, which is the main area, the main issue of concern to the people of St. Lucia, because automatically you must ask them, what are you doing? What have you done lately to improve the lives of the people of this country so that business activity can thrive, so that we could have foreign direct investment, so that people can feel safe in their homes and to a less extent on the streets. I'm saying to a less extent because we know there's a possibility that somebody will be mugged at some point in time. There will be some attack on a visitor, on a local. Things do happen. But it has to be newsworthy. It is no longer newsworthy when we report of a homicide. I don't think it resonates with people anymore because they have become so accustomed to it, so inured to this problem. It's happening so often. We accept it as a way of life. And that is unfortunate. That is what life is in St. Lucia right now. But what is very discouraging is the responses that are coming from our leaders, or our leader in particular. Imagine sales are low in a particular business. Competition is stiff. And you are the manager, the managing director. You're called to a meeting of a board of directors, and the directors are very concerned and they're asking questions of you. Why didn't you meet your target? What about projections? Yes, you've been in for a little over a year, but we're not seeing the improvement. What separates you from the previous managing director? What is the distinction? Is there any kind of inclination or indication that things are going to improve anytime soon as far as this business is concerned? What are you going to say? Are you going to be defensive? Are you going to point the board of directors to what is happening with a similar business in Barbados? He cares. What is happening in Jamaica? He has to care about that. What is happening in the United States? The bottom line is, my business is about to flounder. I don't want to hear excuses, and to make it worse, you're telling me I'm not making an excuse, but that's exactly what you're doing. You are making an excuse. And as a leader, what sets you apart from the other leaders in the Caribbean who are facing the same problem? What sets you apart from Ralph Gonsalves in St. Vincent, or the Dickon guy in Grenada, or Mia Motley, or Andrew Holness in Jamaica? You do not want to be an exception to the rule. You don't want to be exception to what is happening. Let's bring it down to a talk show or a program on radio or on television. And let's assume that the other programs are not doing too well in terms of views, in terms of listenership, in terms of advertising. And your program director, managing director approaches you, Tim, why your program is not making any sense? We hardly get any calls, there's no advertising. Well, there's a show just around the corner. They're floundering. There's a show up the Mon, it's floundering. There's another show in Gros-Islet, floundering. There's another show just in Sans Souci, floundering. There's another show at Barnard Hill, floundering. What do you expect me to do? There's nothing I can really do, boss. And she says, that's okay, Tim, that's okay. We understand. All the shows are floundering, so I'll give you a pass. By the way, today's what? Today's the 25th, 27th. I have a check for you. Because, yeah, you're working hard, Tim. You're working hard. Continue. That is what leadership amounts to these days in St. Lucia in terms of politicians making excuses. We have, crime is not only in Marchand. People think crime. People think that only crime in Vieux-Fort. It's a national issue. But what are you doing, sir? You preached. You begged. You campaigned. You walked the length and breadth of St. Lucia. And at some point in time, people are asking, but why do politicians get all that energy, the discipline, to wake up early in the morning, sleep, go to bed late at nights with their water, and the hacks are following them all over the place, and they're campaigning heavily, incessantly, every day, because they have primed themselves up for a campaign of a month or 3 weeks. And they win. Forget about the people, those things that are impacting the people. And right now, crime is a major issue. Just ask this particular woman who on Tuesday attended the St. Lucia Labour Party's town hall meeting. And that event took place at the Bainfield Secondary School in Vieux-Fort. This clip extracted from a report which was aired on HTS last evening. Listen to this woman.
The crime is happening, and who's losing are the parents, because most times the young boys dying on the streets, they even leave young children behind. The parents now have no ways to feed their young children. How can we, the people in Vieux-Fort, the single parents in Vieux-Fort, be part of the discussions that would see where we go with crime, especially in Vieux-Fort?
Speaking again yesterday, on Monday, during that town hall meeting of the St. Lucia Labour Party held at the Bainfield Secondary School. The response from the Prime Minister and Minister with responsibility for national security.
Barbados, we do not hear it because it's reported differently. In Barbados, almost every day there is some shooting. That doesn't mean that we're doing well here, That's not an excuse. That's a fact. So I don't want you to... We have to try ways and means of dealing with that situation. But people have this crime in Vieux-Fort, crime in Vieux-Fort, as if Vieux-Fort is the epicenter of crime. That's not true. There is too much crime everywhere in St. Lucia. There is too much crime everywhere in St. Lucia. Before they used to say Marchand. Then they used to say Mondidon. Everywhere, there is too much crime everywhere. So let us not center crime as if we have... What's happened is that we have an issue of crime that we have to deal with. And no one knows Because we've tried. No one can tell you definitively what is the answer to the crime problem in the region.
So therefore, why are you National Security Minister, sir? Why are you Prime Minister? And the response delivered in a very discursive manner, flitting from issue to issue, Marshall, Vieux Fort, and makes reference to Barbados. But for a moment, internalize the concerns expressed by this woman and St. Lucians. We know when we should sympathize with our Caribbean neighbors. We know when to do that. But we know when the problem is sufficiently acute in St. Lucia that warrants us looking inwards, as opposed to looking at what is happening to us in our country and then looking what is happening in St. Vincent, Dominica, Barbados. That, point blank, this is just an excuse that is being made. And I'll play this clip again. Just imagine Mr. Philip J. P. is addressing the crime problem in St. Lucia, and he is the leader of the opposition. He is the leader of the St. Lucia Labour Party, and he is not the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. Look at this from that particular perspective, that Mr. Pierre is addressing crime in St. Lucia, and he is not the Prime Minister. He is not the National Security Minister. He is the leader of the opposition.
Barbados, we do not hear it because it's reported differently. In Barbados, almost every day there is some shooting. That doesn't mean that we're doing well here, you know. That's not an excuse. That's a fact. So I don't want you to... We have to try ways and means of dealing with that situation. But people have this crime in Vieux Fort, crime in Vieux Fort, as if Vieux Fort is the epicenter of crime. That's not true. There is too much crime everywhere in St. Lucia. There is too much crime everywhere in St. Lucia. Before they used to say Marchand. Then they used to say Mondidon. Everywhere, there is too much crime everywhere. So let's not center crime as if we have... What's happened is that we have an issue of crime that we have to deal with. And then no one knows. Because we've tried. No one can tell you definitively what is the answer to the crime problem in the region.
Left to those politicians, we would have never gotten to the moon. Left to those politicians, we would never have made any kind of discoveries, because we're just going with the flow. If it is happening in Dominica, it's happening in Barbados, it's happening in Trinidad, it's happening in Jamaica, we resign ourselves to the fact that this is the norm, and we ought not to tackle it. We ought not to make a difference. Only if we're in opposition, we complain. Crime is a problem. Crime is a problem there. Crime is a problem everywhere. People are going to sleep at night. People are going to walk the streets. This is a wicked government. And you have a national security minister. He should be fired. I mean, why is he in that position up to now? It's been over a year, and you continue to excuses. Reference to Barbados, Jamaica, etc. Let's hear from you right now. 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. I don't know about you, but it's very frustrating hearing politicians, when they are the hustings, when they're in opposition, they claim to have all the answers, they pretend to have all the solutions to our problems, and when they get in, they make excuses. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Yes, Tim. Good afternoon. And how are you?
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Good. What exactly do you want the government to do? All those persons who are calling and on the government back a tirade, right? Nothing wrong in that. That's their right. Okay, but what exactly do they want the government to do to alleviate the crime? What exactly? Let's hear their suggestions. Because let me refute him. What exactly do you want the government to do?
I don't have to respond to you, caller. You are not. No. Hold on, caller. You are associated with the party. You're associated with the Prime Minister. But I don't have to answer your question. You are not the National Security Minister. I will not engage you on that. If you want to call, make a contribution, make your contribution, caller. All right?
No, hold on.
Make your contribution.
No, but Tim, the point I'm making to you is that if you are going to criticize somebody, don't you think it is fair that you should say, okay, this is how I see, this is what the problem is?
Are you a spokesman? Did we elect you? Did we elect you as the MP for any constituency in St. Lucia? Are you the National Security Minister? Are you the Prime Minister of St. Lucia?
Are you finished, sir?
I'm asking you. Are you the Prime Minister? Are you the National Security Minister?
Yeah, well, okay, I'll answer no.
Don't I have a right to say to the National Security Minister, the Prime Minister of the country, that I'm concerned about the crime problem? What are you doing about it? Stop making excuses. Stop making reference to Barbados. Be different. If Derek Walcott had said, boy, no black boy can be the Nobel laureate for literature. He remained in St. Lucia, did not travel, did not go to Trinidad, did not go to the UK, did not go to the US. You'd have ever gotten this accolade? So I don't want to excuses from politicians who fought hard to be in a leadership position, to be at the top of the government and continue to hear those things. So it's my right to say that. So don't call me and ask me any question about this.
It's not my right to ask you what do you want done.
Don't ask me any question, caller. Don't ask me. Go and ask that question. The next time, the next time you have a meeting of the SLP, pose that question to the National Security Minister.
Tim, you have a lot of callers, including yourself, who have been highly critical of the government, and a simple question as to what exactly you want them to do, you can't answer. Then you have no basis for what you are saying.
You have no basis.
You
have no basis. There's no basis for you to call me and ask me any question on that issue. Okay, caller?
What do you mean? But I don't understand. You are talking shows criticizing the government every day.
I am not the caller. I am not the National Security Minister. I'm not the Prime Minister. The people who are elected to serve in that position, we have to ask the question of them. As long as they're in leadership position, we need to ask them that question. They have the title.
Did I ever say that? Did I say not to ask questions?
I'll not entertain your question.
All I'm asking is a simple question. Okay, fine, there's no problem in criticizing the government. That is your right. But I said that very early on. It's your right to do so. All we're asking for is what exactly do you want the government to do?
You're out of place to ask me that question, because if I were... No, hold on. If I were to give you that recommendation, there's nothing you can do about it. Okay? So if the Prime Minister wants, he can call me on NewsSpin. No. You are the Prime Minister's acolyte. Okay? You are the Prime Minister's acolyte. I don't want to speak to you.
So you don't want, so you
no,
want me to call
I do not want to tell you anything and then for you to report to the Prime Minister.
Report to the Prime Minister?
Okay.
Tim, I am a citizen of this country. I have every right, as you have, to question anybody on anything, right? If there are people calling on the government to do things, I think we have a right as a citizenship, as a citizens to know exactly why it is that you're not calling and what exactly you want the government to do and they're not doing.
But you're not the government. You're out of place.
Remember you. The reason why I asked this question.
You're out of place, Peter.
I'm sorry. I'm not out of place. Anyway, that's your take. That's fine. I'll tell you why I asked this question. Because you made a number of recommendations of government, including bringing in foreign help and so on. They acceded to everything you said, you know. And I called you and I told you so. I said, Tim,
for 3 weeks?
You made several.
For 3 weeks? RSS people came in for 3 weeks, you know.
No.
Took our money and left. That's all it. 3 weeks. Eat our food. Eat our food. We accommodated them, ate our food, and that's it. And they left. What?
Right.
That's a long-term plan?
You asked for a plan, you got a plan. You asked for outside help, you got all of that. I said you have to give it time to work because crime is not something that happened yesterday. Nobody's saying the government...
In the time to work, and I could be the next victim, you could be the next victim.
But Tim, anywhere you go around the world, you can be the next victim. So I don't see your argument. Anywhere you go, crime is not only prevalent in St. Lucia, right? And that's not making excuses. These are facts.
But that's exactly what you're doing, making excuses.
No, it's not making excuses. You want to view it that way.
You're making excuses. You're making excuses.
All I'm saying is
2 years from now, you make excuses. 3 years from now, you make excuses. 4 years from now, you make excuses. 5 years when it's election time, God spare your life, you will still be making excuses.
I haven't made any excuse. All I ask is a simple question. All of you all are making noise, which I have no problem with, but what exactly do you want the government to do that they are not doing?
So listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. It's a y'all versus us because all of y'all making noise. So you're not in it.
No.
All of y'all.
I said you and your callers. You. I specified what I said.
All right.
You and your callers are making noise, and I said it's your right to
We're
do
not
so.
making noise. Azzy, get it right. We're not making noise, Azzy. We're not making noise. The sky is falling, you know. As far as crime is concerned, you might not agree, but the sky is falling and we're not making noise, Azzy. Okay?
How is the sky falling?
We're not making noise.
No. How is the sky falling to previous years? How is the sky falling?
Thank you so much for calling, sir. Have a good afternoon. Appreciate your contribution, sir. Let's move on. 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. WhatsApp call. We have a WhatsApp call. Let's go to the call. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
I didn't want to laugh, but I mean, this is laughable. Tim, I just want to ask a question. You remember all the noise that was made about those AstroTurf that was being placed all over the place? Not all over the place, but in Mikud, in Deriso. Now you have teams from all over the place coming to Deriso on that AstroTurf. The Labour Party used sportsmen to try to discredit that thing. Now they are using it and they're loving it. But I need to ask a question. I need to say something. We in Mikud South need to ban Viewfort from coming to Deriso and play football. Because at the end of the day, we have been trying our best to stay in our corner, peaceful. We cannot afford for Viewfort to bring the violence up to Deriso. And the FA need to ban Viewfort from coming to Deriso. That's what I'm calling for. Good afternoon.
All right, good afternoon to you, caller, and thank you so much for calling. I mean, you have people who are lapdogs, basically. I mean, calling, putting a defense for politicians, and asking you questions. I mean, if you have any recommendation, if you have any discussion to take with anyone on the crime problem, I want to speak with the National Security Minister or the Prime Minister and hope he's listening if he does not want to engage me on this particular issue. And realize that things are very serious as far as crime is concerned. And before you realize it, 2 years would elapse, 3 years would elapse, and things will only get more serious, will only worsen. We have somebody who's holding on. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Mr. Poleon.
Good afternoon to you, caller. Good afternoon to you, sir.
I'm like Mr. Bermuda, 2 times journalist of the year. But you really, now you prove me today you are the best journalist of the year, man.
Why you say that?
As you always have, you either on the back football, right outside you or someone you following it.
Yeah, well, caller, I mean, I try not to prove anything. I have nothing to prove.
And if you continue to chase the ball outside your I'm pretty soon you're going to give a catch before sleeping. Anyway, Tim, I support you, especially with your when you started your program in your preamble. Crime is a major cause of concern for us. And it is serious, this is no joke. We cannot hide away from that. Tim, you need to tell Azi, because Azi acting as though, well, every time something happens wrong in St. Lucia, you are attacking the Labour Party. Tim, you have to let Azi have his own show. There are so many persons on the diaspora who are of the board who are listening to NewsSpin. And to give Azi so much time and energy, airtime.
Who knows? One of the radio stations will hire Azzy very soon to be a co-host on one of their programs. I could see this happening very soon.
The guy only interested in is to be on a board. Every citizen of St. Lucia know that. Be on a board and getting paid, and that's it. Always, and if it's not on the Red Cross, on a bank of St. Lucia, he's always on a board or board. Perhaps you see clue at J. Plywood. So that guy he doesn't have the country at heart. He's only there acting as though He's representing the Labour Party. And I think the Labour Party is even laughing at us. Anyway, let's move on. The guy who called you about the football match and where violence have been, interjecting our constituency, and I support him, We never had that thing here before. And when we're talking about, and you have said it before, one life is too many. And in a football competition to have what we have there, and who knows, if that thing is not stopped pretty soon, we might have more of that, because there are more competition that have to be hosted in that constituency. And it was very poorly for the police. There was no police there at that time. So the person took the leverage, and people were scattering all over the place because of gunshots are fired. And this is a serious thing, and I mean, we never have that in that constituency. Never, never. And I only hope that does not repeat its ugly head there again. The guy said to ban them. Well, I don't know if they have to ban them, but any time once there is a match, the police are supposed to be present. Already it shows the sign that what can happen. Just like we said once, when the death of that particular police officer, I thought that would have been a wake-up call for the police. And up to now, it did not bring any wake-up call. The police handled that as though, well, it just happened and it happened, and there's nothing for that. And we need to treat crime as serious thing. That is a problem. Everywhere in the constituency, in communities, you have gunshots all over the place. When it's going to stop? Why we have a budget so large for the police? Brand new vehicle. And then it has nothing to do with the government? Come on. Well, if not, we all have to be hands up him and forget about it. But we have to protect our young people. Those who are going to school, the vulnerable. We have a job to protect them. We cannot allow the situation to be festered among us and play a blind eye and do not blame the government. The government has no part in it. Government doesn't send people to go and commit crime. But when crime is happening, it is the responsibility of government to deal with it. And if the government go at all out to deal with it, I am in support of them. You said the RSS less than Lucia. They were there for 3 weeks, Tim?
About 3 weeks, yeah.
How much it cost us to have the RSS? How many of them that was in St. Lucia? What was the number of RSS?
I think about 12 officers.
12 of them, and how much money it cost us? What did they do?
Well, you had to give them per diem every day. I don't know how much exactly, but it cost us pretty penny.
Did they share the expertise with our local police there? What did the police learn from them? Huh? These are the questions. It's not just we are happy. And I heard you once, you said you would give 10%, you said, for bringing the RSS. What did we achieve from that? That crime is still happening. Are the police following intelligence? Any idea as to how to tackle the situation? No. Honestly, no. So then, how much it costs us to bring them there? Luxury in hotel, AC, driving on new vehicles. Eh? I thought the police would have learned something from the RSS, especially the Special Services Unit, which is supposed to be the backbone of our security. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling, sir. Still to come, the most readied individual to serve as our Prime Minister, and a whole lot more. You're watching on Facebook, watching on YouTube, listening on Power 97.9 FM.
Born from the same soil, growing stronger.
Raised of our own sweat and toil, doing it together.
I'll bank for you and me,
taking us forward so proudly. First National Bank, the best of who we are. First National Bank, together we'll go far.
The pride of St. Lucia, here to stay.
Growing up, growing stronger, it's a First National way.
Every day we're backing back
Contact Lucelec before trimming or cutting down trees that are near overhead electrical wires. Watch out for power lines before you begin working on a ladder. Be sure that ladders or scaffolds are far enough away so that you and the ends of the tools you're using don't come within 10 feet of power lines. And never use any electrical appliance in wet surrounding outdoors or in the rain.
This message is brought to you by Lucelec, the power of care.
Bundle, yeah. Bundle, floor. Bundle, save. Tap up, yeah. Tap up, mad. Tap up. Look at the place covered. Browse all you want. Post all you want.
Win big with Flow! Tickets to the biggest shows, water park passes, costumes, over $20,000 in cash, data, and more! Activate a 3, 7, or 30-day combo plan. Pay up your bill, switch to Flow, bundle up your chance to win every day!
Bundle, yeah! Bundle, save! Tap up, yeah! Tap up, mad! Tap up. Look at the place covered. Browse all you want. Post all you want. Look at the place covered. Do what you want. Watch what you want.
Bundle now and get a smartphone for only $99. Switch now!
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for at Lazarus Funeral Home. Losing a loved one isn't something you can foresee. Since the beginning, affordability has been one of our priorities. Every day we're proving that burials don't have to be expensive. If cost is a factor in your time of bereavement, call Lazarus Funeral Home. We have coffins starting at $800 plus taxes. Nothing can cause more disappointment than poor quality. Help us help you keep your last memory of your loved one sacred. Make it special. Make it Lazarus Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Located at Bibliotheque Castries at 452-7491 and New Dock Road V4 at 454-6555.
What people become Prime Minister of St. Lucia have been the most readied of all of them.
So again, you were ready now, then you were ready then,
yes.
and then
Alan Chasley, and Von Lewis, and John Compton and George Charlton have been the most readied.
Because of what? Your years in politics?
Because my experience, my ministerial experience, based on ministerial experience, I've been the most readied.
So Philip J. Pierre speaking during an interview on appearance on Newsmaker Live in 2019. Good afternoon. Thanks for holding on. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Timothy.
Good afternoon. You caller.
I'm calling concerning the guns which was found in the washing machine.
Yes.
Some people are saying that they should follow the human adverts. The other thing I say, they should go back and go back to the record book and see how much in the past this person has been bringing washing machines and this kind of thing, and check which custom officer that always been clearing those boxes. They should go back and do that. Check in the past how many barrels, how many washing machine, and which custom officer that a customer clearing those things. They would have a clue. Thank you, Tim.
All right, thank you so much. I think the police would know what to do, but they could always take advice from you, caller. Likewise, the Customs Department. Let's continue with your calls, 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages at 716-2026, 716-2026. A guy has been suggesting that they need to institute some kind of measure whereby politicians should need a license to ply their trade, if you want to call it that. And we'll be hearing from that individual in just a moment. But we have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
Jim, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Let me tell you something. The reason why law enforcement is so weak in this country, the reason why hello?
Yes, I'm listening to you, caller. You're on the air.
Right. Is because the police force doesn't have enough crime intelligence. They are not intelligence-driven enough. You hear what I'm saying to you, Tim? I spent 20 years in the police force, 17 years in security. And I know what I'm talking about. I don't have all the answers. The crime intelligence is weak. Police officers must realize that their job does not end at 4 o'clock or at the end of 8 hours. You are a policeman 24/7. You have to, when you get off your uniform or whatever, you've got to keep your ears and eyes open. You've got to monitor the places where there is cockfighting. It's illegal, I know, but I cock, we call it. You go where the butchers are slaughtering animals, the bars. You got to get out there, keep your ears to the ground, gather information, and get the public to instill confidence in the public to give you information. The force is weak because intelligence is weak. There's no doubt about that. How can you solve crime without proper intelligence? I'm not talking about rule by the market and this way, that way. Intelligence, crime intelligence. Understand what it means?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a crime intelligence duty report? How active, how solid are they? When you get off a shift as a CID man or wherever, does the A shift know what the B shift is doing and the B shift know what the C shift? Back in our time, A shift wants somebody, B shift goes around, they pick up that person, they bring him in. I'm waiting for a comment from you, Tim.
No, God, I agree with you. There's a lot more that the police can do. And I think several years ago, police officers, they would do more with less. They do not have the kind of training. You don't have the police officers with degrees. Now you have a police officer with a doctorate. So many vehicles now. So many police stations around the island.
Can I interject a little, Tim?
Go ahead.
All of these people are aggrandizing themselves. I'm not saying you cannot get your master's and your doctorate in fields to aggrandize you, but who's going to mix the mortar? Who's going to carry the blocks? Who's going to do the job? Everybody wants to look nice. Are these people getting training in forensics, in fields of crime investigation, in police, in criminology, in matters of fact relating to the police? Everyone seems to just want to get themselves big and move on. That's what I'm seeing happening. Back in our time, we worked as a unit. And there was crime, but we kept it to a limit. Right now, these guys appear, you know, they playboys. You walk around, you drive around, you see the way they act, the way they drive around. I observe them. Because some of them don't even know what the meaning of observation. Let me give it to you. Observation means to take notice of, to notice attention, and to scrutinize carefully. It also means to differentiate between the usual and the unusual. Team, I learned that from 1975 when I went to the RPTC. This Roman girlfriend says, he did this thing, you know me? I can give you more. Evidence. What is Mr. Fact evidence? That is Mr. Fact evidence. That is Mr. Fact proof. The means by which a point can be proved or disproved. All of that is coming from my head, Tim, from 1975, I learned those things. If you want to be a effective police officer, you've got to know the bread and butter policing. Yes, the technology is there, we'll use it. I am not against technology. The forensics, the computers, whatever. But the basic bread and butter policing, the beat and patrol, bring back the beat and patrol, make it nice, make it encouraging so that guys can go on the beat, observe what's happening. People can check you on the beat. You can pass on information to the CID while you're on the beat. Vehicle numbers, after hours, who you observe where, moving where. We are not doing the basics. But that's one of the reasons. I'm not blaming the police entirely for the crime situation, but they have to take a lot of the blame. I served 20 years, and I can tell you, I know about it. I don't have all the answers, but I have a lot of answers. Over to you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Appreciate your contribution. So what are you talking about there, caller, is leadership at various levels. Leadership at the level of your police commissioner, other senior police officers, middle managers, and leadership elsewhere. We have a call. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello? We will try again. Let's see if we get this call on the air. Let's try again. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air? Okay, we've lost that call. Continue to call us once again, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We have a WhatsApp call as we say hello and good afternoon. Okay, I think we'll try another line. Do we have a call coming in? No, we don't. All right. So talking about leadership, talking about police officers being on the ground and being observant and being proactive. You need to instill those things in police officers. They will not learn it on their own. You need to have a blueprint and ensure that they go according to that plan. Hold them accountable as well. We have a call. Good afternoon, NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Good afternoon, team.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
It always amazes me how when the Prime Minister has been asked a question. The question was put to him yesterday. I'm not sure it's yesterday.
Tuesday,
right. After it was at a town hall meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And the question was, when are you going to fix the Vieux-Fort police station? His answer was the last government fixed it. You know.
And I think he said it would have cost then $200,000.
That because if you can remember, Tim, that dilapidated state of that Vieux-Fort station has been way beyond 2016.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he always put somebody else, give the blame to somebody else. You know, it just amazes me. I'm telling you.
Okay, so thank you so much. But you are the Prime Minister, and you have to take your job seriously. Whether you are the janitor, whether you're a school teacher, whether you're the Prime Minister, Minister for Youth and Sports, Economic Affairs, whatever, take it seriously. Stop making reference to your predecessor. Move on. Deal with the task at hand right now. That is what you're elected into office to do, and take your job seriously because you have the title. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin, you're on the air. We have a WhatsApp call as we say hello and good afternoon to you, caller. You are on the air. Hello, good afternoon.
Tim, I do agree with, yes, Tim.
Yeah, go ahead.
I do agree with what, I do agree with what the past officer says there. But again, you have to understand, with police officers, if you're not being treated good, you expect sometimes the police officers and them would perform the way that they have to perform with no transportation. When you look at the station in Vieux-Fort, it is in a mess. There is nowhere that you could put prisoners. How do you expect officers to perform in a situation like that?
Yes, we must create the environment whereby, we must create the environment, caller, where police officers can execute their duties properly, where they have the amenities, where they have, the police stations, etc., to work with. But there have been instances where police officers have been provided with all the tools and yet still they are failing. Take, for example, I don't know if you watch on the news, I think DBS had a story last evening over the Richmond police station. There's a police station there. The woman went there and she was treated badly, caller. There was a police station. And yet still she could not receive the service that she was seeking. Hello?
Yes, well, with this one, I do understand. But Tim, also, when you look at the guns related again, if you remember, Shakes had a problem, a matter going on there with him. Up to now, nobody's heard nothing about that. Remember the content of marijuana? Nobody's heard nothing about that. If you remember, there was the next custom officer that had another matter again with that same drugs and gun. You heard nothing about that. So this one, with that gun that they just got there again, this one is another one that will just go under the table.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. We have somebody who's holding on. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Good afternoon. Okay, what does that call? 452-2979, 452-2979, along with your WhatsApp calls and messages. I think we have a WhatsApp call. Let me go to that call right now. Hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim. How are you?
I'm okay, ma'am. Good afternoon to you.
Okay. Absolutely. I agree that the sky is falling in St. Lucia, and it's falling really hard. How could you have a leaderless government that's going to lead a police force? A leaderless leader like Philip J. Pierre that had agreed to, run a country and, throw his hands in the air and say he couldn't. How could this be a leader? if St. Lucians didn't agree with Mr. Chasney, at least you already know what you had, so that would have, allow you to keep him there. Now what? Now what? Nothing is going to happen. It is what it is. If anyone wants to know where this country is going to go in the next 3 years, I will say go back to the drawing board and really look at the whole history of the Labour Party and Mr. Pierre. And furthermore, that what Mr. Christopher Hunt illustrated on his tape, that's exactly what's going on. These guys, they're not ready. They didn't come in there to, get the country forward, but for their own personal gain. It's a shame. St. Lucians, you got to wake up. You guys need to wake up. This is not going to end. The crime is going to keep going. And yes, the sky will continue to fall. You're going to get yourself ready. You better get on your knees right now and pray, because the sky is going to continue to fall. Thank you so much, Tim.
All right. Thank you so much for calling, ma'am. 452-2979, 452-2979, along with your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. What is happening in the chat room? I think I have ignored you from the commencement of our broadcast today. Somebody says, lies and lies, caller. Another person says, SLP has a track record of bad governance. The receipts are there. We have a call. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Tim, good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
I am truly blessed. Tim, one of the main reasons we have in St. Lucia is that I do not know if it's SLP, but some government members sold St. Lucia to the devil. And our young people are going astray. Old people are going astray. Everything is in a concoction situation.
Caller, we must stop blaming the devil, I don't believe, no, caller, there's sometimes you don't blame the devil, you blame yourself, caller. Stop blaming the devil.
Let me say something to you. I can identify myself to you. I have to blame the devil.
Are you a bishop? Are you a priest?
Yes, I am a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ.
But I still don't believe.
I have a radio and TV show every
irrespective, caller, irrespective, I don't believe that the devil is responsible for this. We are responsible for this. We can address it. We can tackle it successfully.
Okay, can I say how we can address it?
Tell me.
I had a message for St. Lucia that St. Lucia need to be shut down for one day. Air and seaport, everything shut down and go into prayer. Now, two people may pray, God will hear.
No, you want to bet on that? If the prime minister, if the prime minister, listen, caller,
give me this message. Yeah.
If the prime minister were to take your advice, shut down the entire country, we lose millions of dollars for one day, and it does not work. And it does not work. What should be done to you?
Tim, give me two seconds. That is what we need. We need to sacrifice back to regain our faith in the Lord. You see, St. Lucia was sold for money. I don't know which political party. Everybody is money, money. So if St. Lucia bleed that money, and when the plane comes to St. Lucia, we say you can't come in, send them to Barbados, the government pay that bill. We have no money, but let the country bleed that money, and God will open doors back for St. Lucia. Right now, God have a controversy with the inhabitant of the island of St. Lucia. We have been rebellious. We have been disobedient. We have been doing everything.
Okay, so why Barbados is going through the crime problem in Jamaica and Trinidad? Why?
Barbados and St. Lucia, there's a difference between Barbados and St. Lucia. Now, Tim, you know well, and I mean you are very intelligent. The whole world is going into chaos, but St. Lucia is paying for something. Bloodshed, innocent people dying, innocent accident. You're driving on the road, people driving on your side. You talk to them.
And it's the devil causing that.
It's sin. Sin is the devil. Sin is the devil. Period. Sin is the devil. And unless the government sacrifice a day for the Lord in prayer and fasting, Tim, I know you're good. And let me tell you, one time St. Lucia was a praying nation. The Roman Catholic Church was open. The Anglican Church was open. The New Testament Church on Marian Street was open. The Streams of Power, all churches was open. Now all churches shut down. Even the ministers of government said they want no prayer during Parliament. You remember that? When you take away prayer from something, what do you invite? Come on, man, Tim. You're a good man. When you take away prayer, what do you invite? Come on now. Who feels it knows it, man. Unless St. Lucia, unless, and I quote, the Lord gave me that message during when I started my program on Hits FM 92.1 in the north and 91.1 in the south. That is every Saturday morning from 7 to 8:30 a.m. I am on UTV. I am not advertising myself.
That's exactly what you did there.
Well, okay. Well, I'm on UTV. Praise the Lord. Everybody know that too. 7 to 8:30 a.m. And I'm saying to you, God gave me that message. During the time Mr. Shastney was in government, I kept on saying that until now. Unless a government can we shut down for COVID. We shut down for Emancipation Day. Name it, for every nonsense, carnival, everything. We lost millions of dollars. Let the country sacrifice and let our young men get back into place. Our young women, mothers and fathers. Everything is in a mess in St. Lucia. I'm not blaming prime ministers. I'm blaming members of parliament, irrespective of UWP or SLP. We need to go back to the foot of the cross. Right now, you are not safe. I am not safe. Nobody is safe in St. Lucia. And you know what hurts again? All the murdering that's happening in St. Lucia is unlicensed firearm. Are you hearing me, somebody? Something is wrong somewhere. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry has a say, but the main say is to go into prayer, man. Fast and pray.
Okay, caller.
God will make the difference.
All right.
Timothy for hearing me. And who wants to take it as a joke, take it, but too late shall be our cry. God bless you.
Same to you, sir. I remember Pastor Ben having a series of prayer sessions at the CSA Center, at the town hall. And then a few weeks later, all due respect to Pastor Ben, he said that there was a respite, a break in the criminal activity, and it's back. Let's just continue to pray and let's see what happens. Coming up on the program, is there a need to have a license for politicians? Should politicians be licensed? All that and more in just a moment.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbute at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadhu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Lucilec aveti ou pour point précaution durant saison cyclone ça là. Mi un petit commission qui kaywen de ou protéger la vie ou ek propriétaire ou. Couiller Lucilec avant ou trim et bien couper pied bois qui pouet ligne électrique. Veillez pour ligne courant électrique avant ou monter l'échelle. Fait assurer l'échelle, scaffold et bout d'outils ou ka servi pas venir moins qui 10 pieds hors ligne courant électrique. Pas jamais servi appliance et ben outils qui ka servi courant électrique. Des wall côté qui mouillé et ben en la pli. ça, c'était en commission Rod Lucilek.
The biggest party in sport is back for the 10th year of CPL. And the St. Lucia Kings want to go all the way this year. CPL will be bigger, better and louder than ever. And with the return of our very own Johnson Charles to the Kings team. The games are between 7th and 11th of September. Get your tickets now at cplt20.com or at the box office. Join the party. Experience cricket played louder.
Bundle, yeah. Bundle, floor. Bundle, save. Tap up, yeah. Tap up, mad. Tap up. Look at the place covered. Browse all you want. Post all you want.
Win big with Flow! Tickets to the biggest shows, water park passes, costumes, over $20,000 in cash, data, and more! Activate a 3, 7, or 30-day combo plan. Pay up your bill, switch to Flow, bundle up your chance to win every day!
Bundle, yeah! Bundle, save. Tap up, yeah! Tap up, mad! Tap up. Look at the place covered. Browse all you want. Post all you want. Look at the place covered. Do what you want. Watch what you want.
Bundle now and get a smartphone for only $99. Switch now!
You want to be a politician? You got to take a test. Just like the rest of us to get licensed. You got to take a test. And you got to pass the test. And then you have to indemnify yourself with insurance. So when you screw up our lives by doubling the price of our gas and tripling the price of food and other commodities, we can sue your ass and get the money we need to pay for the stuff that you're making us pay more for. And that's my idea of the day. You want to be a politician? You got to take a test. Just like the rest of us to get licensed. You got to take a test. And you got to pass the test. And then you have to indemnify yourself with insurance. So when you screw up our lives by doubling the price of our gas and tripling the price of food and other commodities, we can sue your ass and get the money we need to pay for the stuff that you're making us pay more for. And that's my idea of the day.
Great idea. Do you think it will be implemented in St. Lucia? Dr. Sam Goldstein, a neuropsychologist. Why not license our politicians? Make them go through the process, a test, and indemnify themselves so that if along the way they fail for whatever reason, negligence, incompetence, etc., they will have to pay us. They will have to meet that particular cost. All right, let's see if you have another call. 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Good afternoon, you're on the air. Hello. Thank you so much for holding on. You're on the air.
Hi, good afternoon, Tim. And how are you doing this
I'm okay, caller. How about you?
I'm good, thank you. Tim, I think people give the devil too much credit. It's about time that St. Lucians take responsibility for their action. If I get up one morning, I decide to slap my wife, will I blame the devil for that? You understand? I take my car, I drink all night, and I decide I know it's wrong to drive and drink and drive, and I decide to go and drive my car. Do I need to blame the devil for that? It's about high time that St. Lucians take responsibility for the action. And a lot of the stuff that's happening in this country right now, because you have so much corruption, politicians corrupt on both sides, it's not just something that starts today. It's something that's been happening for years upon years upon years. Both parties are responsible. Understand? So you cannot just blame one party and say it's because of this party. No, it's something that's been, it's just a reoccurrence of stuff that's been happening. Understand? You leave one party in, one party out. It's just a continuation. But people need to take responsibility for their action. Understand? You need to clean up the system. Understand? You have corrupt police officers. You have corrupt politicians. You have corrupt lawyers. Understand? And that is our major problem in this country. Understand? You will see probably about 60% of our people in St. Lucia are corrupt. 60%. Understand? And the problem, and the other thing also, the Prime Minister made a statement regarding the tourists about 1,500 people came in on Sunday. Understand? That is not true. Did any journalists? Where are the journalists?
Why are you saying that? Why are you saying that this is not true, caller? Are you in the industry?
Tim, I'm in the industry. That's one, and I have friends that work on the airport. That's two. Basically, I'm not just talking. I mean, I'm in the industry. You understand? I work in the tourist industry. You understand? So when the Prime Minister make that kind of statement, you understand? SLASPA need to come out and debunk that. The journalists, I mean, I would say probably 90% of the journalists, either they're leaning to the Labour Party side because they're not questioning the Prime Minister on that. Understand? Good journalists will question the Prime Minister, do the investigation, understand? And a simple call is just to call SLASPA to confirm is that true. You know, I mean, you don't want to put the Prime Minister on the spot, but you need to question, you need to do your job as a journalist. A lot of the stuff that's happening in this country, and a lot of the journalists, I mean, they're slipping. Had it been Alan Shastney in power, the journalists would have been all over Alan Shastney. Understand? Journalists in St. Lucia, whether you're a Flambeau or you're a Labourite, you need to do your job as a professional. You understand? And I mean, it's sad. This is a condition our country are headed. You know what I mean? It is very, very sad. We have no professionalism in our country. Everybody doing what they want and just looking at each other and blaming each other. You understand? And it's from the very top. You have political hacks on both sides. Once the party in, they will try to make the party look good on both sides. You understand? You have Shazi, my friend, singing for his supper day in and day out. You have Christopher Hunt singing for his supper. All those individuals singing for the supper. Flabo come in, you have an excited people also will do the same thing. You understand? So how you expect our country to move forward when you have, and then also you have so-called activists. The only time they come out when the party not in power or when the party in power. You understand? You see, where is the National Trust? Certain things that happen in St. Lucia. All of them gone quiet. You see, so how do you expect the normal St. Lucian to respect those individuals or those organizations when at the end of the day it's all about themselves and nobody else? Have a good day, my friend.
Thank you so much for calling, sir. And I have no way to say and to prove the Prime Minister is not correct based on what he said with regard to the arrival figures. And I'll be able to prove that only if I did the research on it, which I must admit I did not. Somebody says there, via a WhatsApp message, argument of licensed politicians is flawed, especially in developing states. How can a politician be held responsible for an increase in products that are affected by outside circumstances? We have a call. This is NewsSpin. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Hi. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Tim, I had to call back again, Tim. I had to call about that road again, Tim.
Tell me.
Tim, yesterday, imagine a man coming and take a elderly woman and living there and it's not too good. And in the bottom of the road, the man coming up. The man gets stuck there. The man must have fly out. Imagine the man must have fly out from out of the vehicle. My son come up yesterday afternoon, and when the man reached to higher up there, they have them concrete grill. Lower them the concrete grill, they put the concrete over the concrete grill. Imagine a steel out there, a burst the man tire. You know, burst the man tire, Tim. And what causing that? There's a man with a quarry in the area there. And the man have them escalator, the iron wheel, climbing that road every day. Master team, a little community we live in there. A little road where people have to up and down to go to their business. And you have an escalator climbing that road every day, up and down on that road every day. Mashing up the road. Them iron wheels there are mashing up the road, team. Team is time for DBS to come and see about that in the area there, team. You have to bring DBS to come and see that. Team, that's a union team owned by Dr. Marius coming up there. That whole road mash up completely. That whole road mash up completely. Don't talk for where I'm living there. Team, big bush in the road. Grass going all on top of the road. Team, that government and government before, they never come and check on that road for us there. I've been calling way back before that government came in power about that road there. None of them governments still about us in the area there. None of them governments, like we forget about that people live in that area there. None of them may come and check the area there. How the community go, you know. They have a good road over by me there. That bend, no vehicle can go through in that area there. Tim, that's not right at all. That's just not right. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thanks so much. Somebody says that Tim, great show last night with Rick. It's always a pleasure to hear Rick with facts of the law. Politicians, we keep misleading some of us when we are colorblind. And somebody also says there an update. We don't know how much it cost us. Can some government officials tell the nation? Another comment, oh my God, the devil? Really? If they don't blame the government, they're blaming the devil. Shaking my head, that's a publicity stunt. Tell that guy he has to pay for the ad stunt. Do we have a call? Good afternoon, NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Mr. Poleon, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
Why are you not taking my call on WhatsApp, man? What I do to you, my brother?
I have some difficulty with the WhatsApp from time to time, caller. Go ahead.
All right, for 2 days, for 3 days. All right, let me say something. And you know me already. What is government? If you may tell me. When you say government, please.
Hello? Hello? Okay, we lost the caller. 452-2979, 452-2979, WhatsApp calls, messages, 716-2026. And I would not have answered that question, what is government, because that's the first time he's going to pose that question to me. Has, in all the years of calling NewsSpin, he has never asked me, what is government? All of a sudden now, what is government? Go ahead. NewsSpin, you are on the air.
Timothy, a pleasant good afternoon to you and a good afternoon to your international listeners all over the world.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
PW on the line now, Timothy. Timothy, are you surprised of the lawlessness in this country? Timothy, I always say we live in a banana republic, Timothy. I'm not surprised if the lawlessness in this country. You have, take for example, I am actually blaming parental guidance, the government, the police, and the judicial system. Let me start with the police first. You mean, 12 midnight, all lights are off in a police station. Officers are sleeping. There's nobody on guard. This is how we run a country with a police force. This happens on throughout the length and breadth of this country. 12 midnight or 1 o'clock, everybody's sleeping in the police station, lights off. Nobody's out guarding the police station. You gone the last time, team, I brought a Canadian national to do a report at the police station. A police officer looking for a pen to write a report all over the place. He didn't even have paper. That he tore a piece of paper from a torn piece of paper to write a report before he put it on the book. You mean, he doesn't have a notebook? You know how much for a notebook? $1.50 for a notebook. Does he need the government? I know, well, they do have a stationary stipend. But let me tell you something. If the government doesn't provide certain things for you, like a pen or a notebook, to do your work, you can't provide that because these things are cheap. A pen is $1.50. The police force need to wake up and do the job that they are employed to do, Timothy. I am saying that the police officers in this country need to wake up. Even on the weekend, Timothy, Saturday and Sunday, you travel the length and breadth of this country, and you hardly see a police officer on the road. You hardly see a police checked out point. What's going on in this banana republic, Timothy? The police need to wake up, Timothy, and do their job to make this country a safer place, Timothy. Before I go, Timothy, also, I would like to inform St. Lucians that inflation in the Eurozone is more than 10%. So hard times are coming to this country. We need to brace ourselves. Even today, the euro is the exchange rate for the euro right now is 2.4 at the bank, at the supermarket is $2. You know, inflation is high in Europe. We need to brace ourselves for hard times. Timothy, I thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. Somebody says, let's continue to pray. That's your suggestion to the nation of all the strategies to be employed. Prayer is your go-to. Prayer is for personal salvation and should be for continual, for seeker, but as a solution for the woes of a nation is completely and utterly idiotic and ignorant. All right, let's see if we have a WhatsApp call. I think a WhatsApp call is coming in. We'll try to get it right now as we say hello. And good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Good afternoon.
Mr. Poleon, good afternoon. How are you, sir?
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Timothy, for taking the call. You played a clip a little earlier, and you may have looked at it as comedy or amusement, the question of taxing politicians. But I think it is something we should look at serious when we consider the general disappointment the electorate have insofar as the performance of our politicians. And it's a proposal that our friend Azzi may want to consider. He's in the business. He may want to consider putting together something for consideration. I think it's something that should be taken with some measure of seriousness. What if, for example, Timothy, that added to the deposit that politicians have to put, which of course is refundable, that there should be an amount when you register that goes towards that end, and maybe perhaps I can modify that. Maybe elected politicians should be required to have a certain amount from their salary go towards some assurance policy, call it an electoral assurance policy or something like that, that I don't know, can be overseen. I'm just off the top of my head. Can be overseen by some special committee. We put committees together now, and you know, an amount from that can be taken to repair the damage or shortcomings of politicians, you know, etc. It's just something I am just considering that, because there seem to be widespread disappointment amongst the electorate over and over insofar as the performance of politicians. I think people measure the promises they make or people's expectations insofar as good governance, etc. Timothy, I just want to ask you a curious question. Have you ever given any consideration to, how should I put it, a linkage with VAT and the recent deployment of the RSS? Have you ever given any consideration?
What are you talking about?
To that?
You're talking about the suggestion that it should be reviewed?
Well, basically, my question. Let me lead you on or go forward. The question I want to ask: was there any VAT related to the RSS, meaning, and I'm modifying the acronym a bit, value added tranquility, and you'll see where I'm going. And it's linked to some of the questions that were raised earlier, even by yourself possibly. What came out of the presence of the RSS here for 3 weeks? Did we get any, report, any analysis? Was it worth it? So what was the cost of that deployment, etc.? And this is what I'm asking. So what was the value added? What was the VAT? What was the value added tranquility for the deployment of the RSS officers here? How many were there? About 12, I heard you say?
Yes, about 12 officers, yeah.
Right. I think that question, because it was a serious move. In fact, you commended the Prime Minister for so doing. And to a certain extent, we can say it was something different that was done. But what was the benefit? What was the VAT? What was the value-added tranquility that came out of that? Was it worth the investment, the cost to us? What was the cost to us? I just wanted to ask that curious VAT question in relation to the RSS. Thank you, Timothy.
Thank you so much, caller. And I think the Prime Minister will be well placed as Minister of Finance to address that issue with regard to what it cost us as taxpayers, cost us, and not the government, cost us as taxpayers, and also with regard to the effectiveness of the presence of the police officers from the RSS and maybe what they contributed. Who knows, they did contribute something of significance. The police commissioner, I'm sure, is well placed to provide us with an explanation. But I think, considering the talk about the proper use of our financial resources amidst what we're going through now economically and otherwise, that's a good question that should be posed to the relevant authorities. We have a WhatsApp call. Okay, we lost that call. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp call as we say hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, team. How are you?
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Okay, good. My analysis of the paralysis regarding the RSS was mainly to protect the revelers. That's all it was about. Goodbye.
Okay, thank you so much. But we're still hoping to hear something official from our police commissioner and also the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, National Security Minister, on this particular issue. All right, somebody says that I totally agree with the caller to pray and fast. That is the answer. All right, let's see if we have another WhatsApp call as we say hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon to you, caller. All right, caller, turn down the volume of whatever device you are using to listen to the program, and then you can go on. Hello.
I don't have
Okay, go ahead.
Off my radio already.
Go ahead, caller.
Okay, concerning the pastor that called for the phone, I'm a senior citizen of St. Lucia, and that's what exactly St. Lucia means. Because I myself have 2 dreams already about it. I even saw the buses picking up people to go down by the sea to one place. So the pastor is right. And not only in church and in whatever on the radio, they need to spread around the island, the country, and pray.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. We have another call. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello. Okay, we lost that call. All right, let me turn my attention now to that's a fact. Yes, that's a fact. How often we've heard a particular caller to this program say, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Do we have a call or are we ready for that's a fact? Let's take the call.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Tim, you asked me a very interesting question last night as to whether there was any hope for St. Lucia, right?
Yes, I did.
I hope you got more reinforcement of my answer today. In this day and age, when everybody is moving into all kinds of spheres, some of which have not even reached here, but will, and if no matter what we do, we suffer the consequences or we benefit from what happens in the good things in other countries. The answers to our overwhelming problems is prayers, is bolamology, devil, bolamology, whatever you want to call it. And you actually entertaining my good friend LeBon with that nonsensical thing. I mean, I was pissed off listening to LeBon, my good friend, talking this. I'm very. That's his son who has that show, that early morning show.
Yes.
Very impressive young man. Very impressive young man. And for LeBon to be talking this absolute nonsense.
About what? About the VAT?
About the joke you put on there about licensing politicians.
Oh.
I mean, seriously? We have the Integrity Commission. We have laws. We're about to have a special prosecutor. We have all kinds of... Instead of discussing the fact that the justice system does not exist, instead of discussing the fact that the churches are closed, not because the devil closed them, but because the guys dare not open the churches, like that guy who called you. You should be praying for the church. I mean, charity, because, I was waiting any moment for him to say that when you close down the country and everything, also part of the thing was for people to pray and go to church and charge a fee. The only thing he left out was to fill the charity box of the church. I mean, those are the possible solutions to the overwhelming problems of the country, where you have almost a daily rate of murder, homicide, and so on and so on. I mean, this is so depressing, Tim. Is that the level of intelligence we have in this country, the level that's going to produce ideas to cope with these problems that we have? And by the way, the question, I never tell you how to run your show, Tim. You have your own style and everything else. But had I been asked the question, what do I suggest should be done about crime? I would suggest the first person that the Prime Minister, the current Prime Minister, should talk to. But again, perhaps he already knows because he's been in office with that Prime Minister for 25 years. Kenny Anthony, I keep repeating it, Kenny Anthony said last year in May that all the governments had done the wrong thing.
Yeah, but the caller did not was not looking forward to getting any kind of plausible response.
I know.
Yeah,
I know, but I would give him the answer.
No, I wouldn't. No.
Okay? No,
I chose not to. Mm-hmm.
I know you chose not to.
Yeah.
But I would ask the Prime Minister to, as far as crime is concerned, to implement the solutions he spoke about during the campaign. The matter of calling the RSS is a done thing. What's his name? The current chief. Daisy pointed that out, you know. Daisy pointed out that it's not the first time we've called for RSS, not the first time we called for outside help. We get 3 guys from England, 3 deadbeats. We get a RSS that are coming to have fun, really, because they're not really investigating any crime, etc., etc. We know, you know, there was a police officer on a show 2 weeks ago, Nicholson or Nicholas, his name was. Whatever.
Yeah, Nicholas.
The guy said the biggest problem with gun trafficking is the customs. He said that. And if you didn't want to believe him, just go back in the history of the customs. I remember when 3 barrels of contraband were taken away from the customs. To this day, nobody has been arrested. And there were police on guard, Tim. You remember that?
Yes, yeah.
No,
I mean, vehicles have disappeared from the wharf and up to now cannot be accounted for.
Exactly. So the matter of the container of marijuana, that's a joke. 3 barrels of contraband were taken out of the custody of the customs without accountability. So, you know, there's nothing new happening. All that has been happening is a normal process of things, that things get worse in time. Bad things untended get worse. They don't get better. Okay? So, I mean, it's so depressing for a popular show like yours to be having people taking the time to call and to bullshit you with, let's pray. Let us pray, and the church is in serious problems. On every count, the church wants money, the church wants congregation, the church is seen as a bunch of pedophiles, etc., etc. The church has its own problems. Show us the example and pray for that. The guys come to the House of Assembly and repeat prayers handed to them by the politicians. That's what they read. He's talking about journalists. The church does not talk about any of the horrors in the country. No church addresses that. But they're going to tell you where are the journalists. You see what I'm coming from? And then we make joke about licensing for politicians. Even we were to license elected politicians, who would stand to see that the conditions of the licensing are met? Who? Tim, you know, I mean, your show is a great lunch hour, fun thing, and it's interspersed with some serious things, but you know, I'm sure your chat room.
But NewsSpin is unpredictable, so you never know what to expect, Rick. Unpredictable. All right.
I want to tell you, I thoroughly enjoyed your show.
Okay, thank you so much. WhatsApp message, somebody says, I think the government should recall and utilize some of the retired officers for the experience. They will make a difference. Let's turn our attention now to our new feature. That's a fact.
And that's a fact. And that's a fact.
And that's a fact. What's a fact? Does rain have an odor? The answer, the smell associated with rainfall is called petrichor. The moisture causes bacteria in dry earth to realize or to release a molecule that human noses are very sensitive to. Once again, that's a fact. And the question is, does rain have an odor? The smell associated with rainfall is called petrichor. The moisture causes bacteria in dry earth to release a molecule that human noses are very sensitive to. And that's a fact.
And that's a fact. And that's a fact.
Let's take a final call. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you are on the air. Good afternoon.
Mr. Poleon.
Oui. I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
You're on the mobile South Gaza. Nous avons fait tout le monde agréé. Nous avons d'accord et puis on dit, chérie, hein? Ça fait peut-être ça fait un gros gars. Tim, ok, Tim, nous avons un simple que ça. Comment ça nous n'est plus un simplicité, dis-moi. Sous une bonne idée, vocation, dis-moi.
Well, rum shops, churches.
Non, ça y est. Ou à quoi les masses tout là. Tu vois l'église union cette ici. Pas tout passer au café tout coin.
When they place like in pli l'église à Saint-Lucie, ti commune c'est grosilé. Et là qu'il n'y pli base tout. Et puis un l'autre place chimia qui n'y pli l'église tout. Waterworks Road là. Oui.
Tu peux pas aller l'église union. Et quoi dis-moi pour des jours. Ils sont body pas dans la pouille. Ils sont la pouille ne pas qu'à être côté. Tim sous aller bon avant la l'église. Montez plus haut là de l'autre église. Montez Lesland Road là n'importe 4. Montez sur Waterworks là n'importe 20. So ça me dit encore. Hein? Qui ça le road. So pareil pour de ça pas faire puissance. Mon qui dit pour me quoi yo et de quoi yo get it. Tim mo fait Poleon ni un bon journée boy.
We'll see. And thank you so much for that call. We end with our final feature, our NewsSpin News of the Day. That's our final feature, NewsSpin News of the Day. British Gas to donate 10% of profits to struggling customers. Our NewsSpin News of the Day, British Gas to donate 10% of profits to struggling customers. Which business establishment in St. Lucia will do that? Will Digicel do it? Will Flow do it? Will Massey do it? British Gas to donate 10% of profits to struggling customers. Our NewsSpin News of the Day. Bringing to a conclusion, NewsSpin for today, Thursday. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 for another program. My name is Timothy Poleon. Goodbye.